I've been working with Grant for about 8 to 9 years. Physically, we talked about his talents. He plays baseball, he plays basketball, especially nowadays with a lot of young kids. They sort of specialize in tennis, but he's a good athlete, and you don't see 100% of great athletes playing tennis, which is a real positive. You could probably break it down into which I always, when I'm teaching the kids. You have the car, the map, and the fuel. The car represents the physical abilities. The map is the mind, which the mental is very important. It's all between the ears. The third thing in that is the fuel. How much desire do they have? How much fuel is in the tank? So to have a successful journey, you need the car, a good-looking car. You need the map, GPS, where you're going. And then you need the fuel. You get some kids today where you have a good car, they're very smart, but they have no fuel in the tank, so they're not going anyplace. Well, Grant has all three. Certainly the physical, he's got the car. You can see it. The guy's an absolute, you can't get to the Derby without the horse. The guy's a horse. And then the second thing is that he's working on his mental part all the time. A lot of kids need that between the ears. And then the third thing is that he does have a lot of fuel in the tank. He does have a lot of passion and desire, and he wants to be the best he can be. Fundamentally, he's very sound. 2, he wants to be the best he can be. And 3, he loves the game. And the other thing about Grant is that he's definitely a late bloomer, and he's got a lot of potentials, and he's very coachable. We had a couple girls here, and one was Christina McHale, who ended up, she's right up there in the world. I remember when she was like 10 years old, and she was a skinny little runt, but you could always tell something special about her. And the same thing applies to Grant. There's something special about him with upside potential. We had another girl here, Christina she ended up playing for Stanford very high. And I'll never forget, we had a girl here that wouldn't play with Christine because she thought Christine was too weak. And Christine eventually played the #1 player in the world at the U.S. Open and lost 4-3. But again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And you can see these kind of kids that have that kind of potential at early on. But as a coach, you can see it. But certainly Grant has that. He's got a lot of potential, that very upside. And again, you have to work at it. There's no free lunch. But he'll pay his dues. He's a worker. He comes from good stock from his family. I know his father. He's very helpful as a parent, and he understands when to step back. And that also allows Grant to leap up to another level, especially when he gets to college. His ranking's going up all the time. He's getting great experience playing USTA tournaments. It's certainly a bump up. He may miss a little bit of the team camaraderie when you're playing high school tennis. So it's sort of a catch-22. A lot of the stronger players today do make that decision to play USTA tournaments, but he's taken that risk and challenge that he wants to up his game, so then when he does get to college, that he'll be at a different level. And he's also a very good doubles player, and he's doing quite well. There's no question about it. I played basketball in high school too, and the side-to-side when you're playing defense, that kind of thing, and getting low to the ground is very helpful in tennis. And certainly when you have what we call DNO, defense neutral offense. So you need to be able to sting the ball on offense, which he does well, and then to be able to then hit a rally ball or neutral ball, and again decipher that or distinguish or identify that, which he's doing quite well. And then thirdly is that to be able to play good defense. So going back to basketball, a lot of the kids today, all they want to do is sting the ball. But he has that kind of a game. He can play good defense, slice the ball, approach on a low ball coming to the net, dig shots out. But that's, you make the person play one more shot, which a lot of the players today, it comes down that they want to hit a winner all the time. And for the most part, especially in college tennis too, is that very few matches are actually won. They're actually lost because the other guy makes more unforced errors than the person that wins is the one that makes the least unforced errors. He does have patience, and he understands, we call it red ball, green ball, and yellow ball. And for the most part, in other words, when you get a green ball, identify that, to be able to see what's coming off the other guy's racket before it even happens, be a step ahead. And a green ball means attack. A yellow ball means a rally ball, and the red ball, that's the kind of ball that you're on the defense on. and he can do half volleys. The one thing about Grant is that a lot of young kids today do not go forward. A lot of kids today tend to go side to side, big serve, big forehand, but they don't have the ability or the confidence or the skills to, and that helps, basketball helps that, is that they can go forward, linear, in a straight line, attacking, chip and charge, crush and rush, maybe even loop it and then sneak in, or serve and volley, and he has that, or he can run around his backhand and rip a forehand, and his backhand is also an asset where he can also attack the net and then finish the ball or finish the point at the net on a volley or an overhead, and he's got a very strong overhead. He's like a sponge. Whatever you tell him to do, he attempts to do it, but certainly he's repetition, and the other, if you want to get to the US Open, that the magic number is 10,000, and the 10,000 means that you want to be out there 10,000 sessions, which is, again, talk about patience. That's right. It's just the repetition. He understands that discipline, that you have to, pay your dues. It's not going to happen. Marv can't tell you one time and expect to be able to execute under pressure. And he has to go out and practice it over and over, so it's automatic. So it's unconscious. It's automatic piloting. He has, the ability to play singles and doubles, but going back to his physicalness, going back to the car, the guy is, he can sprint. I mean, he's strong as an ox, and he's going to still grow, and he's working on his strength all the time, as far as agility and quickness on the court, etc. And he's got a great eye for the ball. He does play baseball too. I know I'm sure we talked about that. But baseball, basketball, very good baseball player. He's a great student, good leader, good peer leader. Again, you're talking about an all-around kid with upside potential, with a kid that's going to, what's the right word, is going to probably stay in the coach's system. It's going to be low maintenance, and that's going to also be a good role model for the whole team, and then for the whole school. It'd be a positive. Then in the right system, which I'm confident that many colleges in the country that would certainly benefit his skills. You don't see that good of an athlete with that good of an upside and very coachable. So it's really a no-brainer to any coach that he's a cream of the crop. We call it a blue chipper.